Where's this money going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? Take away a sales tax, X. Where's the money going to come from?
I wanted to apologize you first. I have to go that thing. That's why I hung up the phone. But again, what I wanted to ask you and Leonard, you asked me who I think will win the midterms. This is my prediction. What will happen? It depends on the race in Virginia and New Jersey because, the governor's race because, those are the keys. And
well, listen, we can go X. We can go into state by state and race by race. I really don't want to do that because I think my listeners will fall asleep. But here's what I will ask you: Here's what I'll ask you: Who do you blame for the shutdown?
Both sides, Republicans a little more.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I would. A
lot of people are leaning that way.
I would certainly agree with that. I would certainly blame. I would say a lot more, but we can disagree on that. But that's a pretty big topic ahead of the midterms. Do you think the country is happy with the way Donald Trump is handling deportations? Because every poll,
I think the country is happening. Based on the registration and everything like that, what's happening with Nevada and everything like that, I would say yes. Based on data,
so based on Fox News,
yes, they're happy.
So based on Fox News polls and right polls, they are not happy with the way Donald Trump is handling it.
No, I'm not a Fox News fan at all.
I'm not either. I'm not either. I'm just telling you that even people on the right are unhappy with the way ICE.
They wanted control over immigration, but they didn't want men in masks who refuse to identify themselves throwing people in vans and knocking grandmothers and mothers down and disappearing people to other countries, and their family can't even track where they went.
Correct, Leonard. So you agree that, we blame Republicans, no matter how much is irrelevant, but you blame Republicans more than Democrats for the shutdown. Immigration, there's a lot of people that are very unhappy with the way Trump is handling it. There's a lot of people that are very unhappy with the National Guard being deployed. How about the economy? Do you think people are really happy about where the economy's at right now? Do you think Donald Trump has done a good job in lowering inflation and job creation? Would you say they're happy about are you happy about the economy? Do you think Trump's doing a good job there?
As far as the economy and jobs goes, no matter which naked is, far right, far left, the jobs are reportedly very low. That's what I'm saying.
So the job reports are not good. Okay, so the answer would be no. Okay, so based on every single facet where you talk about the economy, immigration, the things that Donald Trump ran on, really. Hold on. No, that's not true. Inflation, when it comes to grocery prices, are up as well. So, and by the way, the worst jobs report, as you agreed, we've had in
and
decades.
That's only what they told us.
Right. So, with all that being said, the economy, job growth, inflation, immigration, a government shutdown, what would lead you to believe that people are happy with Republicans in general and they're going to have a very good midterm?
I'm not saying that they would. I said it'll depend on how the New Jersey and Virginia's race is going.
Well, he's talking about Virginia because Virginia is coming up in a couple of weeks. It's in November. So I think he's saying that's kind of a referendum on how the midterms may go. But the midterms are another year away. And so Virginia could be a good indication. Possibly.
But X, you just basically admitted that the fundamental, most important things on Americans' minds, Trump has failed. With that being said right there, I disagree with you. I think the Democrats are going to have a very successful midterms. And I think a lot of people are very unhappy, especially moderates, with the way this country is going and the way it's where it's headed. That's my opinion.
If he doesn't stop the election.
Again, let me tell you one thing. Nevada, GOP is having a field day when it comes to registering voters in Nevada. I'm telling you the truth.
Okay, so what? I mean, that still doesn't mean that the midterms are going to be successful as Republicans as a whole. By the way, the guy who's running the Republican Party in the state of Nevada is a criminal.
By the way, the ground game, the Republicans have never outworked the Democrats on the ground game and registration. So I don't know where you're getting that information from.
X, where are you going to vote in the midterms? Are you going to go Republican or Democrat?
For which one?
In general, are you leaning to the right or to the left?
When it comes to voting, the seat is safe Democrat, my district, so it doesn't matter what I vote for.
Okay, but I'm asking you, where would you lean? Would you lean towards the right or to the left when you have the opportunity to get into a voting booth right now?
Show. We're asking you a political question.
Do you lean? Would you vote right or left right now?
On federal or on local level?
Both.
On local level, probably I would vote for the R. On the federal level, I'd vote for D so I could put a check on Donald Trump.
Okay,
Wow.
so you've just admitted to me in this conversation, X, with respect, that you blame Republicans for the
A little bit.
shutdown.
I don't know.
Okay,
Just a
you
little.
blame Republicans more than Democrats.
Just a little.
You've admitted on this show that, yes, most of the country is very unhappy with the way Donald Trump is using ICE and deporting. We know that gas prices are up. We know that grocery prices are up. I've given out those statistics on this show. There's a lot of people in this country who admit that are very unhappy with the way Donald Trump is using deploying our National Guard, basically on all the top important things that, top three, I guess, that voters are interested in, which would be the economy, obviously job growth, immigration, that Trump is not doing a good job. Yet you're still saying you would lean towards voting to the right. I'm trying to understand why. Help me understand why.
Well, because when it comes to local elected officials, where I live in California, which is predominantly dominated by Democrats for 2 decades, it felt miserably.
Well, at the federal level, he said he'd probably vote D because of Donald Trump.
So you're not happy. You're not happy with Democrats at the local level in California. Is that what you're saying?
As far as it goes, not at all. I can't.
And what do you think Republicans can do better than Democrats have done in the state of California? Tell me.
For example, look at all the people in California. They're moving to Texas. They're moving to red states.
I don't care. Okay, so listen. Hold on. That's not a policy. I don't care. I don't care if people are moving. That to me, that's not a Democrat or Republican issue. I'm asking you a question. What do you think that Republicans can do better than Democrats in California? Please help me understand that.
Highest gas price in California.
You think? Okay, so hold on. You think that local? Hold on. You think that local political officials set gas prices?
Or have anything to do
and
with
you
it?
Think that Democrats want prices to be higher? Do you realize how ridiculous you sound?
Gavin Newsom, signed a law, gas sales tax. That's right.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, but they have to agree to that. He can't just sign the law. He can't just wake up one day and say, You have to petition the public, and the public has to agree to an additional sales tax, possibly for roads and for infrastructure. You can't just Newsom didn't just assess it. The people agreed to it. That's different.
Local politicians do not. In fact, the president doesn't set gas prices. Okay. You guys were complaining about Joe Biden for 4 years, about the Keystone pipeline. And we had some of the biggest, do you know that under Joe Biden, these gas companies had record profits? It's called greed. It has nothing to do with some local politician that you might vote for that's on the right. So that's a bad example, X, with all due respect.
Bad information.
Give me another reason. You lost that one. X, hear me out.
I'm correct.
Give me another. You're not.
Convince me on that.
Okay. Well, obviously with people. Okay. So tell me, how do local Republicans set gas prices? Tell me how they do that.
Like in Texas, $3.
Didn't ask you about Texas. You live in California. You said that you're going to vote for a Republican, and the biggest issue is because of gas prices. So give me an example. Give me an example of a local politician that has an R next to their name that you're going to vote for, that can lower the gas prices in California. Sir, how do they do that? How do they do that? Tell me.
I'm going to vote for a governor.
Okay, fine. Explain to me what the Republican governor can do differently than Gavin Newsom right now that would instantly lower the gas prices in California. Tell me.
Multiple things. Easily, multiple things. One thing, you could try to, remove the sales tax. And also there's a lot of, what was I going to say? There's a lot of
so you think the reason why gas prices are so high is because of a sales tax?
He's saying a Republican governor would put it to a vote to get rid of the sales tax. So he thinks that a fiscally conservative Republican should go and say, we want less taxes for our roads, and propose that. And that would make him a better governor. That makes no sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. I can't believe. Okay, so you lost on that one. You can think you won in your own mind. Well, of course, you are very right. Yeah, I agree with you there. You're very right.
He's right.
I agree with you there. So give me another reason. We're going to agree to disagree. We're going to hold on. X, you got to stop. X, you got to stop now. Okay, we're going to stop talking about gas prices. You are ill-informed, and you can think you're right. Give me another reason why, because I could give you 50 reasons why I'd rather vote for a Democrat in California than a Republican, and I'll gladly list those for you policy-wise. Give me another reason why you think a Republican governor can do a better job than Gavin Newsom in California. Go ahead.
what else do I think they could do a better job? Like he ruined San Francisco with a lot of homelessness problems, and in LA, it's a disaster.
Okay, I didn't ask you. Okay, X. I didn't ask you about your complaints about Gavin Newsom and Democrats blaming them for homelessness. What I asked you was, if you're going to vote for a Republican for governor, what do you think they do differently? Oh yeah, and by the way, sales taxes and other things help allocate money to help the homelessness issue.
Yes.
If you take away a sales tax, then you're taking away funds to help people that are on the streets, which clearly you don't even understand. So let me ask you, if you vote for a Republican, there's going to be more homeless people on the streets without a sales tax, okay, Mr. Governor? So tell me what a Republican can do to help get homeless people off the streets, something that Gavin Newsom is not doing. Go ahead.
Offer rehab, help the fight with.
And where does that money come from? And where does that money come from? You don't think Gavin Newsom is doing? Where do you think that money comes from? How do you give people
Gavin
rehab?
Newsom wouldn't have a job without taxes.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have a job.
First of all, do you know who's taking rehab away from and medical health care and rehab away from Americans in this country? Guess what? I'll give you a hint. It's not Democrats. It's Republicans. It's in the big and beautiful bill where over 20 million people will lose their health care. Everything you say is
they're proud to
the Republicans are responsible for it. And then you think you just flash your Republican MAGA wand in California, and if a Republican becomes the governor, all of a sudden all these homeless people are going to get rehabilitation? What the hell are you talking about? That costs money. And you want to take away sales taxes away from people who buy gasoline in California, and they think they're okay. Let me ask you another question. Where's this money going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? Take away a sales tax, X. Where's the money going to come from? Answer my question. Where's the money going to come from? If you're taking away a sales tax, where is the money where a Republican will allocate billions of dollars to help homeless people get the health care that they need? Where's that money going to come from? Help me understand.
We're paying taxes. It's not working. A lot of buildings being built in California. Come live here and see what it's like. Come live
here. Pay taxes that are not working? Is that what you said?
We're paying the most taxes that any other state.
That's not true.
Okay, so let me understand this. Let me understand what you're saying. You think taxes should be lowered and a sales tax should be abolished. And with that being said, mysteriously find billions and hundreds of billions of dollars, I would imagine, to take every homeless person off the street and give them rehab. But while you want to do that, you want to lower taxes in California and get rid of a sales tax. Do you realize how ridiculous you sound? You're not a serious policy person. Where do you come up with the money to do that? You want to cut federal programs and cut money from going to the government to help people, but yet you want to allocate more money to help the homeless.
Can I add something to that, Brian?
It's ridiculous what you're saying.
So that the states that pay the highest taxes, factually, are Hawaii, New York, and Vermont, not California. So once again, you have a MAGA who's up here trying to give stats and trying to say this is the reality, and he's not even close, Brian.
So
he's not even in the realm.
So X, I appreciate your phone call. It's just asinine what I just heard. He didn't give me one specific reason on how a Republican governor in California could change
lower gas prices.
He wants to abolish the sales tax and lower taxes in California, and somehow he thinks all this money is going to show up like he's David Copperfield, and all of a sudden a Republican's going to come up with all this money and give all these.
He was listening to like Newsmax or one of those.
Oh, by the way, the Democrats are the ones that have been allocating for more money to help people that are mentally ill and those that are homeless. It's the MAGA Republicans that vote against it every time. You have no idea what you're talking about. Holy smokes.
He was, you were very patient with him though. I think you should be glad that you let him say his piece, but it's just another example of people who have no facts, no figures. They have no basis. They can't tie in two thoughts because they have, Fox News or Newsmax talking points, and that's what they bring to the table.
Let's lower taxes and let's get rid of the sales tax, but let's allocate billions of dollars and billions of dollars to help.
He was saying,
people.
I think people should live in California and not pay any taxes because that's how you save
money. By the way,
money.
There's a lot of people that leave California, and I don't speak for everybody, but first of all, it's expensive to live there because the weather is beautiful and there are a lot of nice areas in California, and there's a lot of people that can't afford to live there. There's a lot of reasons why people leave a state or leave an area. There's a lot of people why people move to Las Vegas and people leave Las Vegas, and that has nothing to do with a Democrat or a Republican.
Well, Gavin Newsom addressed that, and he said that the people leaving Florida double the amount of people leaving California. So it's just another useless stat.